Welcome to the Retrospection section, where we review writing we were once proud of. I'm Max.
I'm Rava.
And we love to make fun of ourselves. In the last episode, we exorcised the demon that was Book 5 of the Generation series, The Purpose. This time, we delve even deeper into this ridiculous universe in which the deranged ex-president of the United States gets taken to court by a ragtag group of superhumans. Said ragtag group joins a literal superhero league. Corinne falls victim to the 2008 vampire trend. And the cheesy line to end all cheesy lines is spoken aloud for the first time in recorded history. The X-Men by any other name would still smell as sweet in The Judgement. Sit back, relax, and drag plagiarism with us.
Okay, but are you sure it's the worst line ever?
I didn't say it was the worst, I said it was the cheesiest.
Okay. Are you sure it's the cheesiest line ever?
I'm, pretty confident.
Because there's some good ones out there. Aro laughed. He giggled or
he
something.
He giggled, yeah.
I think he laughed, guys.
Did he laugh?
Amused. I think he's giggling.
Not really sure, honestly.
You're right, he might be mad.
He could be really angry. It's not super clear.
Anyway.
Prologue. I'll see you tomorrow, Adriel. I promise, Shia whispered before they parted, and Shia crossed the bridge to her village, and Adriel crossed the bridge to his village. Later, lying in bed, Adriel couldn't sleep. He lay there, staring at the ceiling, waiting for dawn. Suddenly, there was a commotion of shouting and screaming outside. It's a killer! Someone shouted from their house. Adriel shot out of bed, threw on his uniform, and joined the other peacekeepers outside. What's going on? Adriel asked, now fully awake. There's a killer on the loose, said Adriel's best friend, Thindel. T-H-Y-N-D-L.
Oh my god. What kind of name is that?
I'm pretty sure it's actually the name from that book where they're in Sweden and they then get a raft to Castaway Cay. I'm pretty sure there's also a character named Thindel in that story.
Oh my god.
But I don't know which one came before which.
I don't know. I'd forgotten about that.
Oh, I never
Well, I didn't forget about the Castaway Cay part. I forgot that they were in Sweden. And then it took them one day to raft across the entire Atlantic and most of the Caribbean to Castaway Cay.
We gotta do, a short special episode of, that short story and the Billabob. No, we haven't done it.
Oh, wow.
We gotta do that one and the Billabob and,
Oof.
the Spirit Turd one.
Isn't that in the same book as the Billabob?
Yeah, it's in the same Treasury of Short Stories book.
Oh, it's a treasure.
It is a treasure. Gotta preserve it for posterity. I went through my bookcase the other day and found it, and I was like, oh no. Okay, wait, actually, Thindel has an accent.
Oh, of course.
There's a killer on the loose, said Adriel's best friend, Thindel. I think he goes by the name of Merc. At least that's what he and a couple others were shouting at the top of their lungs. I'm Australian now. As they ran past slashing at anyone who got in their way. They was like, Merc, 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 they was.
That's how people talk.
Yes.
As they ran past slashing at anyone who got in their way.
Right, Adriel said. Good to know. Do we know where he went? What sort of fellow was he? What did he look like? He was a real ragged sort of fellow, Thindel said, thinking. He had sharp features like a hawk or a wolf, and he was about 19.
Wait a second. Are they in Australia?
No.
Why is he Australian?
I don't think he's Australian, but I wrote it like he has an accent. The speech pattern is like
that just occurred to me. I was like, wait, why is there an Australian here? Because most of this takes place in the U.S.
Who knows, man?
I say aware that immigrants are a thing, but usually something like that has an explanation.
No. Thindel doesn't appear ever again. He's only in the prologue, so
okay, then I'm not gonna even...
It's not even worth it.
I'm not even gonna worry about it.
They're just getting younger and younger these days, Adriel remarked. Let's go. So Adriel, Thindel, and the rest of the peacekeepers fanned out across the village in search for the killers. They found a few hiding in an alleyway, but the leader, the one known as Merc, was nowhere to be found. Suddenly, there was a blood-curdling screech from across the bridge that led to Shia's village. Adriel gasped, Shia, and sprinted across the bridge. Once he reached the other village, there was chaos. People were running everywhere, and to Adriel, everything seemed to be in slow motion as he saw the young murderer enter someone's house. A scream, and then silence. Adriel ran around the back of the house to catch the young murderer as he headed out of the house.
The young murderer! That's how I identify.
A young murderer.
Name, Rava. Gender, young murderer.
when,
like, usually people would say, like, saw the man or the boy run out of the house.
Yeah.
Because you don't know he's the murderer yet.
Yeah.
Unless you're this all-seeing Adriel.
Ugh, I hate this. This is actually enjoyable, though. It's like, good enough that it's good to read, but it's bad enough that, like, you still have to roast it. When Merc stepped out of the dwelling, Adriel sprung forward and grabbed Merc by the shoulders and pulled him back and pinned him to the wall. Ow, yelped Merc. Get off me, you... And then he said a whole bunch of words that Adriel, being from a small village, had never heard before.
People just swear in small villages, by the way.
No,
They're
pure.
Course.
Now just calm down, Adriel ordered in a firm voice. Why do you want to kill all these people? With his clearly insane head held high, Merc said, the people of your village and this village want to stop me from taking over the world. You're damn right. Oh shit! Oh, bad word!
Wow.
I'm pretty sure this is the first time I ever swore in writing.
Wow.
You're damn right, Adriel growled. Nobody should have control of the world except the president. It's a free country. The
except
president.
the president. That's not how presidency works.
It is now.
You're gonna trigger something you don't want triggered.
I don't want this. The president, Merc whispered. It won't be a free country much longer. You won't be free much longer, Adriel said. Come on, youngin', you're going to jail. If I have anything to say... Yes.
How old's Adriel? 15?
No, Adriel's older. He's, I want to say 40?
Dude, when in doubt, if it's a character in these books, unless otherwise specified, I'm just like, they're like 15.
Yeah, no, he's 40-ish here. If I have anything to say about it, you're going to have capital punishment. Merc didn't say anything. Adriel clapped Merc in handcuffs and dragged him to the village jail, where Thindle greeted him. You got him, eh? Thindle said cheerfully. Way to go, Adriel. Everyone cheered. So you're Adriel, huh? Merc said. Then do I have news for you? Go on then, tell us, Adriel said. Well, one of my men killed your girlfriend. They said she cried like a baby and cried out, Adriel, Adriel! Sorry, Merc said, and for the few seconds when Adriel felt numb, not believing what Merc had said, he thought that the young murderer sounded actually sincere. What? Adriel stammered. Sorry, mate, Merc said. I'm not all that evil, right? I said I was sorry, didn't I? Suddenly, Adriel was as mad as he'd ever been in his life, and in a sudden fit of rage, he pushed aside Thindle and dragged Merc down a hall and threw him in a cell. I'll remember you, Merc said as the metal bars closed. I'm going to get you back for this, you'll see. End of prologue.
Oh, that was a prologue.
It's really not actually important at all, and I don't think it ever gets mentioned. Big surprise. But, yeah, Adriel is there, like, well, you'll see. Oh,
yeah, I just skimmed ahead. I already see, and I'm dying.
Chapter 1. Christoph Merc, did you say? An older Adriel asked, his voice breaking. Yep, Merc. You know, the president, said the secretary. You're going to be, the secretary lady looked at a sheet of paper. Oh, yes, a young girl's lawyer this time. Her name's Kira. Maybe you've heard of her? I've heard she's quite famous. I'm afraid I'm not up to date with the whole movie star thing, Adriel admitted. Oh, no, the secretary lady said, laughing. She's, The secretary glanced at her sheet of paper again, squinting. Oh, yes, she's what's called a writer. A couple of weeks ago, apparently, there was a commotion about some kind of evil science lab called, oh, yes, the Tech, that was involved with Merc. Well, it turns out that young Kira and her friends caught him, and they are here to testify against him in court today. Oh, was all that Adriel could say. So, what exactly is a writer? I'm not exactly sure. I think it's some kind of superhuman? Super being? I don't know. They're supposed to be extremely powerful, so be careful, the secretary lady said. When she saw Adriel's shocked expression, she laughed and said, oh, I'm just kidding.
Why do they need a lawyer if they're just testifying against him? The answer is they don't. You just didn't know how the court system works.
No, of course not. I thought if you were going to court, you needed a lawyer, clearly. Anyway, back to reading. You're going to be even more disillusioned with the legal system after you discover this legal system. It's going to be great. Oh, shit. Okay.
That's okay. I'm already American now. I don't know if I can get any more disillusioned.
So true. Ouch. Oh, this country. The trial is today at 10 a.m., Adriel asked just to make sure. Yep, in 2 hours. The secretary handed Adriel his room key. Room 228. Adriel picked up his suitcases and trudged up to his room, which overlooked the ocean. Huh, Adriel said to himself, Mendocino hotels are nice, even though it's snowing. And wait, what? What? Where are they? He says Mendocino hotels are nice, even though it's snowing in Bend, Oregon, in the middle of summer.
Maybe you made it like a hotel chain called that or something. I'm trying to be generous here.
Honestly, I think it was originally going to take place in Mendocino, and then I was like, I'm going to have it take place in Bend.
You know, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But I was trying to give you an out.
Don't give young me an out. I don't deserve it. He sighed. Oh well. Adriel turned on the TV. It's all news. I'm all too familiar with news. He turned off the TV.
I'm all too familiar with news. Things that happen. Next question.
Scene break. Chiron, I whispered. This is really uncomfortable. What? Chiron whispered back. The fact that you're sitting next to an old grandpa lawyer dude with a gun or your suit? Both, I replied. I'm just kind of nervous. Why does Adriel have a gun? 'Cause America.
You're right.
You'll be fine, he whispered. Finally, the judge strode in wearing a long black robe. Someone said, Honorable Judge Gregory Little presiding. Please take your seats. Everyone sat down. I shifted uncomfortably in my chair, waiting for someone to say something. The defendant.
Oh my God.
Former President of the United States of America, Christoph Merck. The plaintiffs, Kira Alexa Brophy and her friends, Chiron Ace Monroe, Jacqueline Jesse Cole, writer William McNamara, Becca Reese Woods, Campbell Sky Woods, Tony Anson Peroni, Keegan William Malloy, and Corinne Amelia Brophy Walker, someone announced. Oh, God.
Can I just say this paragraph is giving my eyes, like, seizures.
Right.
Like, every word is a name, so everything starts with a capital letter, and it's just like, my eyes are literally freaking out looking at it. It's an abomination.
This whole thing is an abomination. The jury gasped at Corinne's name. Corinne shot them a dirty look. What? We'd all been really on edge since we learned we would have to testify against Merck in court, but Corinne had been especially affected by the decision because, Merck was completely insane, and he'd killed Corinne's husband. And the fact that we'd never met our lawyer. I thought his name was Adriel or something. And their lawyer.
Okay, that part is actually not that improbable.
This fucking country. These books are making me so angry. They're making me politically angry.
Same. They were written in, like, a purer time by a purer person who didn't know. Like, I'm just a kid. I don't know the legal system. And yet somehow you predicted this horrendous, like...
Oh, man, I know.
Dystopian horror.
We have to go back in time and kill 12-year-old me. Anyway, and their lawyer, Adriel Lopez. Christoph Merck's lawyer is Theodore Alexander, the person finished. Let the trial proceed. The next few hours were like, this is your life, world-saving vigilantes. It was obvious that the judge and the people conducting the trial had done their research. They talked about the tech and explained what writers were. And I was called up to the stand thingy to talk about all the bad stuff that Merck had done to us, and to Corinne and Tony. And Chiron was too, and he looked really, really nervous. It didn't look good. People's minds were so set on the president wanting to help people, they just couldn't get it into their thick heads that he was really out to get us. Relatable.
Wait, but he made a meteor hit
Yeah, and Trump is conspiring with Russia, yet people are still on his side.
A very minority of people, though. I'm pretty sure you could convict him in court.
That's true.
If we could charge him. Like, the court would not be in his favor. That's the difference here.
Okay, but then why isn't he getting fucking impeached?
Because Congress has to pass a thing for that, and Republicans are in charge of Congress.
So we ended with Merck 1, Group 0 when we went to lunch. That's how trials work. As soon as I exited the building, we headed straight for the restaurant. We ate until we couldn't eat anymore. Talk about comfort food. About an hour later, we went back to the courthouse, and guess who was sitting there waiting for us? Go ahead and guess. All caps. No duh, Christoph Merck was. I just couldn't get used to the notion that he was really here. And then the trial commenced again.
Prisoner claims of being innocent to being Jack Sparrow. How do you find?
About 15 minutes later of our lawyer Adriel and Merck's lawyer arguing over whether or not Merck was innocent, I started getting a really bad headache. Chiron looked like he was getting one too, because he was holding his head in his hands. I started feeling really confused and disorientated, like I couldn't figure out where I was. What was going on? Chiron, I managed through clenched teeth. What? He said, looking like he was trying to squeeze his brains out his ears with his hands. What's going on? I asked. Don't know, don't care. I feel like dying, Chiron moaned. I looked around painfully, trying to figure out what was going on. The jury looked like they were in major pain, and the judge was blinking rapidly, and Merck and Adriel were just standing there. Weird.
Wait, what?
You'll find out. Merck was looking right at me. Idiots, I heard Merck's thoughts say. You think you can just stop me right like that. That's what they always think. But I know. I heard someone say in slow motion, or maybe it was just me. I looked up through blurry eyes and realized I'd fallen onto the floor. Adriel was standing over me, looking concerned, and I wondered how much had happened since the time I'd fallen out of the chair. A lot, apparently, because Merck was gone, Chiron was on the ground, Corinne was leaning on a desk looking woozy, and the rest of the group was either passed out or passing out. Why wasn't Adriel affected by whatever had happened? Oh, ouch, I thought, but even thinking took too much energy, so I decided I'd just go to sleep.
Ow, oof, my bones.
Oof, my bones. Christoph Merck just gave them bone-hurting juice.
That's one of my favorite memes. I don't know why, but it's one of my favorite memes.
Do you want to read chapter 2?
Sure. What the? I asked groggily as I woke up, flinging my fists around and feeling pretty sure that they connected with someone's face. That's like how little kids wake up, like babies. They wake up from a nap and they just start like punching the air.
Kira is a baby.
Ow, young lady, that wasn't necessary, said an old man's voice. Oh crap, our lawyer. Ugh, what do you want? I asked, feeling like I had a hangover. Oh, not that I did. I'm not old enough to drink. Ha ha. Ugh.
God, I hate this.
I want your help, said Adriel. Help me first. That's my old man voice.
Okay.
Help me first. What happened back there? Christoph Merck controlled everyone's minds. He confused you to help him escape, Adriel said. How come you weren't affected? I asked, sitting up painfully. I was in... Oh my god. I was in an accident where the doctors had to replace part of my skull. Nothing can penetrate it, not even thought, Adriel said. Oh, that explains it, I thought.
That seems perfectly legit to 12-year-old me, honestly. I was like, that's a thing.
Okay. Okay, so what do you need our help for? I need you to help me catch Merc, said Adriel. Why would you want to catch him, old grandpa? Chiron butted in. That's our job. You're going to need someone a little more experienced for this job, Adriel said. Wait a minute, Corinne said, waking up. And apparently immediately aware of the entire conversation that took place already. You think we're not experienced enough? You must not be thinking straight then. Want me to punch him, Kiara? No, I said. Sorry, Mr. Lopez. Quite all right, said Mr. Lopez. And please call me Adriel. It literally called him Adriel in the narration the entire time until just now where it switched to Mr. Lopez. Chiron butted in again. I'm having serious head issues. Yes, you do, Corinne teased. Okay, the tense of your retort doesn't even go with the tense of his complaint. Corinne, it should be yes, you are.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Corinne, shut the fuck up.
No, I mean, I feel like my head exploded. How long have we been asleep? Chiron said. Almost exactly 24 hours, Adriel said. Wow, okay, so where are we? Tony asked. Oh, I forgot about Tony.
Yeah, he's here.
And who are you, really? You are in my home. It's very large, Adriel explained. Adriel humble bragged.
It's very large.
Actually, does just bragged. I'm a retired peacekeeper. It's a type of cop. Ooh, ah. Oof, ow, my bones, said Corinne. Okay, bored. Wait a minute, I said. Do you by any chance know Tony? Adriel squinted at Tony, because every cop from anywhere knows each other.
Right?
Adriel squinted at Tony, put on his glasses, then peered at Tony again. He does seem familiar, Adriel said. Oh yes, I remember now. I fired you because you fired at will when you weren't supposed to be firing at will. Oh look, I made a joke. You were fired because you fired. How clever. Oh god, okay, this voice is actually really hurting my throat.
I can't, it sounds like you're like dying.
I am! It was fine at first, but now it's actually getting painful.
Okay.
Tony looked sheepish. His eyes looked up, practically begging for mercy from an old man's supposedly funny jokes. Corinne rolled her eyes and yawned. So, you fired him. Who are you, anyway? Do you have any family members that live here with you? What's your middle name? Where were you on the night of the 13th? These turned to sentences somehow. I've been through these interrogation questions once or twice. Adriel laughed. I already told you I'm a retired peacekeeper. Yes, I live here with my granddaughter. My middle name is George, and let's see, the 13th. I believe I was fishing with my son. I laughed too. Can we meet your granddaughter? Chiron snickered. You must be pretty old to have a granddaughter. How old are you anyway? Chiron, I scolded him. Oh, that's all right. I'm actually 63, Adriel said, also chuckling. Then he called for his granddaughter. A girl came out of a room wearing a yellow sundress. She looked like she was maybe 11 or 12. She had brown hair with white highlights, freckles, and wide, pretty, yellow eyes. Whoa, cool eyes, man, Chiron said. I shot him a don't go there look. I'm blind, said the girl.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Why is everybody blind, and why does yellow eyes equal blind?
Yeah, that was my question. This is my granddaughter, Lily Lopez, Adriel said cheerfully. She's quite a remarkable girl. Corinne looked at her skeptically. Just how are you so remarkable? Lily said, and turned invisible. Then she went back to being visible again. That. Whoa, cool, Milo exclaimed. Wait, Milo?
Milo's the cancer patient.
What?
Remember?
No, I don't. Hang on, I'm going back to the list of names earlier.
I don't think Milo was there.
Milo is not there, you liar.
So, no, so remember in the last book when they go to the hospital and they meet a cancer patient who's like, I want to live before I die, and you were like, did they turn him into a writer? And I was like, no. And you're like, oh my god, these are the worst people ever. They didn't turn the cancer patient into a not cancer patient.
Oh yeah, I actually forgot about that.
Yeah, so he's actually kind of important. He's the chocolate voice.
Oh!
Later.
Okay. I just, man, now that I'm thinking about that again, I want to live before I die. Well, we have superpowers that can make you not die at all, but we're not going to use them.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Whoa!
They're the worst. But
also,
honestly, it's only because it didn't occur to me.
Also, you know what's interesting is
what?
I know for a fact this isn't what you were thinking, but I saw an interesting speculation thing one time that was like, would people who can turn invisible be blind while they're invisible?
Oh.
Because if the light is going through them, then it wouldn't, their eyes wouldn't be...
You're 100% correct. I accidentally did something right.
I'm not the one who came up with that. I'm not the one who came up with that. I saw it online somewhere. It was probably on Tumblr or something.
But good thinking. Good. We can explain some of my random bullshit.
No, we can't, because it was only when they were invisible that they wouldn't be able to see. When they were invisible, their eyes would work normal.
Never mind. Oh, they don't have shrimpy eyes?
No.
Look with your shrimpy eyes. That was one of my favorite things that you've ever said in an episode.
Yeah.
Continuing on.
Whoa, cool, Milo exclaimed. Creepy, Jacqueline remarked. How did that happen, I asked. Hey, I can do that too, Chiron exclaimed. I shook my head. It was because when I was oh, here we go. It was because when I was a baby, my mom was killed in a fire. I was found a couple days later with no parents except my dad. So 50% of the parents you would normally have who had been hospitalized for a broken arm. Wait, he had a broken arm and he didn't use the other good arm to carry his child with him away from a fire?
Nope.
He just abandoned her?
Yup.
But the people who took me in were evil. They took me to a horrible place where they made me blind and gave me the ability to disappear. Lily shivered. I still remember it. I was there for 4 years. Then my grandpa came looking for me because my dad was in Africa. He's a missionary.
Okay. Yeah, you find out later the story's a lie. I'm pretty sure.
Freaky, but awesome, Chiron said. Your mom's dead and your dad's in Africa and you were raised by evil people. Awesome!
Oh my god.
I stared at him, wondering what had made him so weird.
Same.
So where was it exactly? The evil place, I mean, I asked. You should know, Kira, Corinne burst out. You can read people's minds, you know. Oh yeah, that. Well, I don't want to feel like I'm intruding, so I just asked people the questions, I said. Sorry, Adriel and Lily, was it the tech? Adriel straightened up and Lily went stock still. What'd I say? I asked, looking around. Chiron shrugged. Yes, Kiara, said Lily. Yes, it was the tech. I'm very glad you found it and got rid of it before it was too late. So am I, Corinne said. We were there too, I told Lily, and they gave us powers. Watch Chiron and I and the rest of the group. You'll see what they are. I looked at Corinne. She was practically seething with the embarrassment of not being as amazing as everyone else. She could change herself to have these powers!
You can't change writers can't change themselves.
Oh yeah, okay, she could make the oothers change her to have those powers.
But that would actually make sense.
You're like, damn it. Can we stop talking about this now? She asked. I made a whatever face and turned back to Adriel. So what exactly is it that you want us to do? Help me find Christoph Merck and help finish off the tech. In return, I'll help you figure out any other problems that you may have, Adriel said. And since you're technically illegally annihilating a criminal, I'm hereby dubbing you honorary peacekeepers. I'll go get the uniforms. None of that made any sense. My throat is killing me, so I'm going to go fill my water.
Okay.
That voice was a bad idea.
Chapter 3. And we're supposed to go outside in these things? Corinne asked in disgust. It's standard attire, Adriel said, looking sheepish. Well, it's not suiting to my standards, Corinne said. What she was wearing was what I and all the other members of the group were wearing. Black, black, and black. For the guys, it was a plain black t-shirt, black pants, and a patch that distinguished the Peacekeeper classes from each other. The patch had the Peacekeeper emblem on it, which was a shield shape, 2 squares diagonal to each other, gold, and the others black with a gold dot in the middle. For the girls, it was a longish black tunic with a gold belt slung over the shoulder, black skinny jeans, which was actually kind of cute, and black boots with gold trim, plus the Peacekeeper patch, which was the same as the guys.
Always. Always black.
Of course. For little Corinne and Evan, they got Peacekeeper in training outfits. Lucky for them,
God.
They didn't look like little emo babies. Yeah, get ready for some bullshit.
I forgot the stupid kids were there.
I know. Little Corinne had a pink tank top on, which was made cuter with a pink beret and jean capris. How is that a uniform?
I hate all of this.
Me too. Little
First,
Evan
why are we going through their outfits? And second, why do the babies need special outfits? And third, why are the babies still here?
First, I think it was because I was mistakenly like, more detail equals better writing. 2, I have no fucking idea. And 3, I have no fucking idea. Little Evan looked really handsome. He had a red shirt on, jeans, and skater shoes that looked really good on him. They're fucking 5 years old. Why? While my babies were admiring their adorable attire, we were all staring in disgust at our abhorrent attire, all except Kyron, who seemed perfectly okay with the fact that we all looked like something out of X-Men. Which wasn't actually that bad, since we were, after all, mutants of a sort. Can I please make this a tiny bit cuter, Corinne begged. Adriel rolled his eyes. He was wearing a suit, black, but still, it looked good on him. Over the suit, he had a creamy-colored trench coat. I guess, just don't take off the patch. Thank you, Corinne said, and rushed into the bathroom. A few minutes later, she came running back out with pretty much the same outfit on, except she'd replaced the shirt with the gold t-shirt she'd had on before, and she'd put on her hat, of course, and she had a goldish trench coat on. No idea where she'd gotten it. Your turn, Kira, said Corinne. I like how Corinne's like, you look like shit, go change. Yes. I went in the bathroom and put on my pink skirt on over my skinny jeans and my pink gloves and a pink and black headband.
Oh my god. So they're like, here's these uniforms, and then everyone's like, thanks, I hate it. I'm just gonna go change.
Exactly. That's exactly what happens.
And we're gonna be like little 2007 Hot Topic goths.
Yep. Exactly. The rest of the group chose to stay in their current outfits. Now that our fashion makeover is finished, I think it's time to get down to business, said Adriel. Each Peacekeeper squadron has a name, and what should our name be? Any ideas? How about the Amen? Kyron said. You know, because your name starts with the... Hey! What about the Amen and women? Corinne objected. That's sort of corny, don't you think? I said. And besides, Amen sounds like Amen. Team Writers? Said Becca. Corny, I said again. The League of Writers, Corinne said with finality. I smiled. Now that is awesome. The League of Justice-Bringing People, Kyron said jokingly. Ugh, I like the League of Writers, I said. Alrighty then, Adriel said. We can just call it the League. The League, I repeated. Sounds heroic. Chapter 4. So while the League and I were getting our supplies together, we were all kind of freaking out about having an old grandpa, Kyron's exact words, on the team, because we all felt like we had to take care of him. He was 63 for crying out loud. After we'd gotten all the backpacks in order, we met Adriel in the living room. Okay, so, he said, first, before we start our mission, that is, we need to stop at my headquarters to get you guys officially instated. Now, let's all hop in my jet? Kyron asked hopefully. No, I was about to say my truck, but if you'd rather we could take the jet, Adriel said, looking confused. You have a jet? Corinne asked in amazement. It seats 20, Adriel said. Whoa, I said. Does anyone know how to fly a plane? I need a co-pilot, Adriel said, looking proud. I took one course when I was working for the Air Force in training, Tony said. Great, you can be my co-pilot, Adriel said. That's qualifications.
That's not how this works.
Nope. Lucky, said Corinne, punching Tony in the arm. And now that you're all peacekeepers, I'm afraid I'll have to order you to either call me Commander or Sir.
That's the only reason he instated them.
Right? He just...
He's power hungry.
Exactly. Chapter 5. What the fuck is this metaphor? Things just got cooler and cooler and cooler until they were freezing cold, and I was looking around in the private jet. I called to the flight attendant, yes, flight attendant, and said, do you have any root beer? Yes, ma'am, said the flight attendant, who was a young man, maybe in his early 20s. He turned around and headed for the back of the plane to get my soda. Wow, Corinne breathed. This place is awesome. It's a shame we have to ever come down. I looked out the window and saw 2 missiles speeding towards us really, really fast.
India Golf 909 transmitting in the blind guard. Disengage, repeat, disengage!
We're going to come down even faster than we expected, Corinne, I said, and rushed through the doors to the place where the commander and Tony were sitting pressing all sorts of buttons and looking frustrated. That's called the cockpit, Kiera. Just so you know. You guys, there's missiles. We know, Kiera, said the commander. Kiera, get everybody else out. I'm going to try and stop them. How? I wailed desperately. Just get everyone else out, Tony said. That was when I realized it. Tony and Adriel weren't going to get out with us. They were sacrificing themselves to save us. Every time something cool in my life happens, Corinne was thinking bitterly. We're all gonna die, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die, little Evan and Corinne were thinking together. All right, you guys, I yelled over the fasten your seatbelts beeping noise. Everyone grab a parachute and get off the plane. Where's Tony? Corinne asked. They're not coming, I said through clenched teeth. "Oh," Corinne said absently. Then, "Oh, Kiara!" Bang! In all caps and bolded. And then we were I just scrolled down and saw the, like, onomatopoeia that's, like, 4 times bigger font than everything else. And then we were spiraling downward. Before we could hit the ground, I peered out the window desperately, hoping we were even close to the headquarters, wherever it was. Or even wishing that there was a giant mattress waiting for us on the ground so we wouldn't explode when we crashed. But even that was a little far-fetched for me, so I ran over and sat by Kyron, buckled my seatbelt, and waited to die. Crash!
Wait a second, they had parachutes and they're like, well, better buckle in since we got hit by a missile.
Yeah, the parachutes,
Beautiful.
I guess, stop working after the plane gets hit by the missiles. Who
That's
knows,
how it
man?
works.
Yeah. So then there's the crash sound, which is size 28 compared to the rest of it, which is size 14. That was when I pretty much knew we'd been hit by the second missile, judging by the way we all went flying through the air. Well, I went flying through the air, my seatbelt totally ripping out of its socket in the seat and hit the wall of the plane. Out for the count. Chapter 6. As told by Corinne.
That's unfortunate.
Oof, ouch, my bones.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
She survived.
I know, honestly.
So tired of her.
She does die later, but then she comes back.
I was gonna say, she's like Wolverine.
Yeah, exactly.
She never freaking dies for real.
Nope.
And you just get real sick of her crap. You're like, for the love of God, just stay dead.
Don't you people ever die!
We were all banged up against our seats, and I could hear everyone else screaming their heads off when I saw Kiara being thrown out of her seat and bashed against the wall. "Kiara," I shouted, but it was too late. I'm not really sure what happened after that, but I'm pretty sure we hit the ground, went tumbling over and over, nose of the plane over the tail. Then I looked back and noticed that the tail of the plane had been completely decapitated from the rest of the plane. As we continued to flip over and over, I hit the top of the plane, since during that split second we were upside down and passed out. Scene break, back to Kiara. Okay, this fucking trope. Ba-beep, ba-beep, ba-beep.
Woke up in a hospital.
Oh, it gets worse. It's a trope within a trope.
Oh, jeez.
Only to be greeted by a blinding white pain in my head and also a blinding white light. I couldn't remember anything. I didn't even know who I was. I blinked several times to try and wake up and not feel like I was going to die. Finally, the pain subsided enough and my eyes adjusted enough for me to look around. Well, it looked like a hospital, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't because first of all, I wasn't in an actual bed. It was a table. Second of all, I didn't see anyone else in there with me and the room didn't have that kind of used feel to it. Everything was spick and span. I threw back the covers and stood up, albeit a little shakily. I looked for the door and went out into the hallway. The hallway was white, almost blindingly so, and it reminded me of something creepy, but I couldn't remember what it was. I scanned the hallway and caught sight of another door at the end. I pushed it open and went through. I looked around some more to see some other kids also laying on tables with various tubes connected to either their heads or their chests or their arms. I thought I recognized them, but trying to think too hard made my head hurt, so I squeezed my eyes shut and moaned. Suddenly, I guess while my eyes were closed, someone was standing next to me, checking a heart monitor on a computer. "You and your friends took quite a tumble," said the woman. I moaned again, then mustering all of my strength, I said weakly, "Where am I?" "Peacekeeper headquarters," the woman said gently. "You're in the infirmary. That looks weird, like it's spelled wrong, but it's not. "What happened? What's a peacekeeper?" I asked weakly. The woman looked taken aback. "But you are one, aren't you?" "I don't even know what you're talking about, lady, so if you'd be so kind as to explain who I am and why I'm here, I'd be very, very—" "Kiara?" said an old man's voice. "Who?" I asked. "You," said the old man's sad voice. "Huh? Oh, that's me, isn't it? That's my name, isn't it?" I said. The old man, who was in a wheelchair, nodded his sad head. "Don't you remember?" "I don't remember anything," I said. "I don't know who you are, sir." "My name is Adriel," said the old man. "I instated you into the peacekeepers. You called me the commander." "But you're in a wheelchair," I said. "I wasn't before today," said the old man.
Wow.
Ableist. "What happened back there?" I said, rubbing my head. "Who are these other kids?" "You and I were in a plane crash," said the old man. "So were these young people." Suddenly, one of the kids who had brown-haired... Oh, fuck. Okay, this is where I started describing Corinne in, like, flowery language. This is like that point, that phase in my life where I was like, she really, really became a Mary Sue. Like, before she was just really annoying. This is...
No, she was already Mary Sue.
I know, but this is like, she's like, she levels up.
She's like Uber Sue.
Uber Sue, that's good. Suddenly, one of the kids who had brown hair down a little past her shoulders and fierce, angry eyes awoke with a start sitting on her table. She seemed dark and wicked and mysterious.
Oh my god.
"What's going on?" she demanded in a strong, I'm in charge sort of voice, but even she sounded confused. "Ah, Corinne, I see you're awake," said the old man. "I don't know who you're talking to, but if it's me, then no duh, I'm awake, old man," said the young woman. She must have been only in her early 20s.
Oh my god, are they all gonna have amnesia?
Yeah, they all fucking have amnesia.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
Why'd you punish me this way?
I don't know. I don't know why I included this. "I am talking to you, Corinne," said the old man. "Good for you. Who are you anyway?" the girl named Corinne said. My name is Adriel, said the old man in the wheelchair. Whatever, the girl said angrily. Then before I could make any further observations about her behavior, she sprang off the table and landed right in front of Adriel. Now, she hissed into his ear while I looked on in surprise. You're going to tell me why you've got me in this room with all these teenagers I don't know, and you're going to tell me who I and what I am, because I'm having a heck of a hard time figuring it out by myself. With confused but still fierce eyes, the girl who was called Corinne looked up in my direction and I froze. Her eyes were freaking red. Then her eyes flickered back to amber and she squinted. I know you, she whispered. Oh yeah, so the red eyes thing, that has come back again. It's happened.
I don't remember what it meant.
The first, nobody knows.
Except for nonsense.
Yeah, you don't know yet. The readers and nobody else knows.
Okay.
It happened in book 1, and it happened in the last book, or no, the first.
You think I remember that long ago? Book 1?
I don't expect you to remember, but yeah.
At this point, that's like months ago.
Honestly.
We've been through so much nonsense in these months.
I know. Oh, God.
Like, it's not like sensible things that you're reading months apart, like reading the Harry Potter books months apart. This is like listening to a lunatic's ravings months apart.
It is a lunatic's
someone being
ravings.
like, and what color was the banana that he found in the space station? Like, I don't freaking know! I'm sorry, that was a mean metaphor.
No, it's really true, though. It is the rantings of a lunatic.
No, because they made sense to you at the time.
They make sense to me now, but I think it's only because, I've,
Wrote them.
Yeah,
see, well, because some of my stuff still makes sense to me, even though, it has absolutely no context provided in the writing. It's just because you knew what was going on then.
I guess. Although in Dreamers, it made way more sense than this, and we wrote it at the same age.
I guess.
Admit it. I don't know how, I don't know when I made the jump from, this bullshit to, actually decent writer, but somewhere it happened.
I don't know. Do you want me to check that for you?
Yeah, go to the corpus and find out. Hey, listeners, Rava did a corpus of all of my work for her.
Because I got a linguistics degree.
Yep, it was great. I learned how many times I said the word fuck, how the comparison of passive voice from then till now, which surprisingly has not changed that much.
Yeah, because passive voice isn't bad.
I
know. It just needs to be used properly.
I know that
for
now.
The listener's benefit.
Okay, so her eyes are flickering red. I know you, she whispered. I don't, I confessed. You seem somehow familiar.
You seem somewhat familiar. Have I threatened you before?
What's your name? Corinne asked. I think it's Kiera, I said. Walking over from where she stood with Adriel, Corinne came over to me, and with cynical amber eyes, she scanned me up and down, looking like she didn't like what she was seeing.
I love that she says, I'm pretty sure my name is Kiera. Well, an old guy just told you that. And then you said, oh yeah, that's my name, huh? Like you recognized it. So I'm pretty sure you know.
Probably. Probably not, actually, because these people are all not intelligent.
That is true.
Who was this girl? So I asked her, who are you? Well, this old grandpa thinks I'm Corinne, but I'm not quite sure I believe him, Corinne said. Just then another kid woke up. He had black hair and the darkest eyes I'd ever seen. Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
I'm not.
Nobody is. He looked around in pretty much the same manner Corinne had just looked around, confused but still deadly. Who are you people? He demanded. What am I doing here? Who am I anyway? Just then his dark eyes met mine, dark brown into blue. Oh my god, he was the hottest guy I'd ever seen.
Oh my god.
His dark eyebrows drew together as if trying to figure out some kind of complex puzzle. Who are you? I'm not sure, I stammered, lost in the bottomless universes this boy had for eyes.
Oh my god.
Whoa, said Corinne. Whatever is going on, make it stop. She was holding her head in her hands, looking like she was about to throw up. I pried my eyes away from the boys long enough for me to realize what was happening. Something was going on with the room, something really weird. Wide-eyed and afraid, the cute boy was looking around. What's happening to me, he wailed as the things in the room whirled around and around, making me dizzy. Corinne was staring at the boy in horror, and I realized I must have been looking at the same way, because I snapped out of it and looked around. The computers were flying around the room. The only thing still on the ground was the tables and us, the rest of the kids. What are you doing? I said. Then the boy looked back at me and our eyes locked, everything frozen midair. Chiron, I whispered. I remembered.
Of course you did. You always remember your true love. Is he psychic or something now?
They're all psychic.
Oh, of course they are.
Oh, remember when they chose their powers, Kiera chose mind reading?
Yeah, no, I knew that. Are they got carry level, make stuff fly around level powers now?
Yes.
Because of their plane crash oh my god.
Yes. Oh my god, I said in amazement. Chiron, Corinne, everyone. Who? Corinne said, whirling from watching Chiron's amazing display of flying equipment. The only problem was that I had to think very hard about what exactly had happened to us all. I could remember everyone's names, I just couldn't remember everything else. Us? Chiron asked, the stuff dropping to the floor. Yes, us. Why don't you remember? I asked, even though in truth I could only remember the really strong details about Corinne and Chiron, like how I thought Chiron was cute for a while and how Corinne was a pain in the butt sometimes. Most of the other kids in the room had emotions that accompanied the recognition of their names, like the way Ryder and I had kissed just before the meteorite had hit Earth, the way Milo was dying of cancer, and how I loved my babies. The only thing bad about all these memories was that I couldn't remember who exactly these people were, like their personalities. I could only remember a name and an emotion that went with the name. It was very confusing. Wait a minute, said Corinne. How do I know you aren't trying to brainwash us into thinking we are who we're not? How do I know you aren't one of them? She was pointing to the old man in the wheelchair and the nurse. I am one of them, Corinne, I told her. You are one of them. We're just trying to help, the one hoe I'd called, Commander said.
What?
It's a typo. What? It's supposed to be who, but...
Oh, okay.
He's a hoe.
I said, whoever threw that paper, your mom's a hoe.
The one hoe I'd called Commander said. He was the old man in the wheelchair. Look at this, Corinne said. A person who can do this doesn't need anyone's help. Corinne extended her shaking hand towards a syringe laying on a table next to her. It's floating, she said, and it was. Wait, now she has her powers back. What the fuck?
Like I said, all this nonsense. Like, I hadn't even got to this part yet, and I knew all this nonsense was going to happen.
Whoa, I said, watching the syringe move around the room according to where Corinne's hand moved. What is happening to us? Chiron asked in amazement. I have no idea, said Corinne. It just sort of happened. Okay, I said, sort of freaking out. I have a feeling that you can do it too, Corinne said. No way, I said. We don't even know if this is some kind of bizarre deformation that you had before or what. It's not, she said. It feels natural somehow. Seemingly of its own accord, my hand went to a syringe and I said absent-mindedly, this syringe is not a syringe. It's a $20 bill. And when I opened my eyes, the syringe was gone. In its place sat a crisp, new $20 bill.
There goes the economy, folks!
You've been listening to the Retrospection section. If you like what you've heard and you want us to roast your old writing, visit the link in the description and hop on over to our blog to submit your work for a chance to be the star of an episode. Special thanks goes out to Trevor Fisher for the creation of our new intro music. Join us next time for more of the Judgment when Kiera quotes Wolverine at least twice. The group faces off with Mega Milo. And Corinne finally falls victim to the 2008 vampire craze. All this and more in the next episode of the Retrospection section.